It has the potential to change everything because the impacts that it, like when people think of energy, I would think is mostly their electric bill. So it's definitely going to change the way utility companies are charged and can charge for anything because people will be able to provide their own energy and be able to sell it back to the utilities companies. So eventually, in my mind, the utility companies are going to have to transfer over to renewables because that's going to be what people demand.
I actually chose renewable energy kind of based on the fact that I thought it was really cool, which sounds weird. But I came into the university as an accounting major. And then my freshman year, I went through one semester worth of classes. I barely even took any accounting classes and decided that I didn't want to sit behind like a desk and do that. So I looked at what sounded like I would be more interested in it, and renewable energy like was at the top. My interests actually are a lot in nuclear, which is debated if that's actually renewable or not. A lot. I feel like just because of it's such a clean energy that I throw it into the kind of mix with renewables.
I've always been kind of interested in energy. Um, when I was really little, I was talking about what powers cars. I kind of stumbled upon the major. It wasn't really widely advertised, but once I found out that there was a renewable energy program, I felt that it was um, probably the best fit for me.
I think the program is fantastic, actually, which may be biased because I'm into it. But when I came into college, I know a lot of other people are. You have no idea what you want to do in your entire life, and then like I said, I was in accounting beforehand, and it seems interesting a little bit. But then I came into energy, and then you start to realize as you learn about all this that like everything in our entire world needs energy. Like we can't be sitting here doing this interview if we didn't have energy.
So the major itself covers it's interdisciplinary, so it covers kind of like the science, the technologies for energy. So a lot of the focus is on electric generation. So wind, solar. You see a lot of these broader um, areas of study like sustainability or environmental studies. They just seem kind of broader, but renewable energy is like a major part of both of those things.
I think the holdup is that people don't think it's safe at all. Like they see accidents like Chernobyl and they see accidents like Fukushima more recently and 3 Mile Island, and they think like, if you put nuclear plants around, that they're gonna blow up. But Illinois actually has the most nuclear plants of any of the entire like U.S. We have like 20 in the state, something like that, and we've been fine so far. And I think that's just the holdup is safety. Is that people they don't think it's a good idea, and when you have an administration like with government, which is kind of the sad part about energy is that it's really government and like policy oriented. But when you've got administrations like coming into office that we have that are more kind of like traditional fuels based, when they see that there's a cost difference and that it kind of makes more economic sense to do something like nuclear because it lasts for so long, provides so much energy. I think we're going to see a big uptake in nuclear power in the coming years.
The resources are there. It's just figuring out how to, educate people, um, make people capable of actually having the jobs to implement these technologies on a larger scale, and then kind of just locking in political policies that will protect them as strongly as what currently is protecting the fossil fuel industry. So it's kind of a hot button topic. A lot of these things just take time. It's not one of those things that like one person in power or a small group of people in power can even really make the change if they wanted to overnight, because it just takes a lot of time for these technologies to come down in price and to also just pay for themselves, because they're long-term investments. All energy, pretty much every energy investment is going to be a long-term investment. So that's why I think we need long-term thinking, especially with a field like this. There's so much growth globally right now that there's a lot of investment into research and development, and there's constantly new technologies and companies that are coming kind of into the equation. So um, in short, yes, I do think that people will be equipped to, meet entry-level job descriptions, or even, possibly even a little bit more advanced job descriptions. But there's a lot of demand for these types of jobs. So that's why I really hope that the school starts advertising this major more, because I know that there's a lot of, younger students who come in right out of high school and they don't know what they're going to study. And I think that renewable energy kind of would hit a lot of people's check marks on what they're looking for. It's
My job that I'm doing post-graduation is with a company called Growmark. It's located here in Bloomington, and it's a big agricultural cooperative, so it's one of the largest in the Midwest. I'm working for the energy division in marketing. We work a lot with our cooperative companies, so it's kind of like we act as an oil intermediary. So all the other people in the renewable energy program like to say that I sold out. I went for the oil company, but it's not. It kind of, yes, but at the same time, we do a lot of renewable fuels, and that's such a big part of the energy mix that we already have today. And you kind of have to look at it from a little bit of a conservative perspective. As while it's great that you have wind and solar, and they're good, and the cost is dropping, and they're really kind of prominent. Like, you can't just phase out like the old. You can't phase out coal and oil completely. Like, it's something that we have to have in our energy mix in this country for a very long time until we can phase it. So, it's an important part. So if you can do your part as like a forward thinker in like climate change, say for instance, or in energy efficiency, if I can be in this company that traditionally like has been more of the old school kind of energy, like conventional fossil fuels, then I feel like I can maybe shape the company into or I can help shape it into like a more forward-thinking company.
We have a job with a solar company, and it's leading into an internship with them in a separate company. Likely, depending on the maturity of the solar market in Illinois, I'd either stay with that job depending on where that goes, or possibly look into other companies out of state. I really think that I'm pretty good at communication with people, and I have a good mix of knowledge about energy, and solar really is my passion. So I'm thinking about going into sales, at least while I'm younger, and maybe going into project management